Welcome, fellow Taoists, back to the Tao platform of 1991 review. Our old Devil Han is about to run into trouble again after an initial show of power, generously bestowing magic treasures to accept Luyu as an in-name disciple. Han Li has officially obtained insect-controlling art and the six-winged frost centipede. With Han Li's calculating nature, he immediately entered reclusion. Is the insect armor art as formidable as the rumors say? Is a second nascent soul really that easy to cultivate? And most importantly, what do the old monsters of the Drifting Cloud sect truly think of him? Episode 167 will answer it all, recapping the previous episode. After a period of deep contemplation, Han Li decided to bring Luyu to meet Elder Cheng Qian-Kun of the Drifting Cloud sect. Naturally, he didn't tell the full 100% truth, only spinning a tale that this woman had a deep and complicated relationship with him, and he wanted to take her as an in-name disciple purely to make it convenient to look after her. Cheng Qian-Kun was stunned at first, but then a spark of understanding flashed in his mind. He immediately jumped to conclusions about a romantic relationship, revealing a clear, "I get" expression, and then laughed heartily, saying, "No wonder Marshal Brother Han went all the way to the demonic path and back. It turns out it was all from Marshal Niece Lu. Good. Excellent. For our sect to gain another core formation, Jie Dan, stage female cultivator. I, as your senior brother, couldn't ask for more." And just like that, Luyu naturally changed her name to Lumi and formally accepted Han Li as her master. Despite her being only an in-name disciple, Han Li acted with extreme generosity, casually bestowing upon her 2 high-grade magic treasures and a bottle of precious spirit pills, Ling Dan. Initially, when Lumi accepted him as her master, she still felt somewhat reluctant in her heart. But when she witnessed her new master's generosity, giving away precious treasures without even batting an eye, she immediately had a 180-degree turn attitude, becoming incomparably respectful. This was the first time she felt that leaving the spirit-controlling sect, Yuling's Zone, might have actually been the right fortuitous decision. Naturally, Lumi also knew how to act appropriately. She immediately copied the secret insect-controlling art onto a jade slip and at the same time, respectfully presented the six-winged frost centipede to Han Li with both hands, treating it as a formal gift for meeting her master. After taking her leave from Han Li's cave-dwelling Dongfu, Lumi unexpectedly bumped into Mu peeling along the path. The gazes of the 2 female cultivators were somewhat complicated. After exchanging a few polite greetings, Lumi departed. She officially took up residence at the White Phoenix Peak by Feng of the Drifting Cloud sect. It's unclear whether it was out of deference to Han Li, but Elder Cheng Qian-Kun also directly appointed Lumi as the Vice Peak Lord of White Phoenix Peak. As for Han Li, with the important matter settled, he immediately returned to his cave dwelling and formally entered deep seclusion. Upon entering the secret chamber, Han Li did not hesitate for a moment, immediately setting out to study the insect-controlling art and the profound matron-nascent transformation-grade art. After a series of forming hand seals, a dazzling azure light burst forth. Myriad spirit insects suddenly gathered, condensing into an exceptionally majestic, tricolor battle armor that fully enveloped his body. Han Li lightly patted the armor, feeling its sturdy and glossy texture, and couldn't help but feel a surge of excitement. It turned out this was the insect armor art, the exclusive secret technique of the spirit-controlling sect. Before, he could only control the spirit insects to form simple shapes. Now, having obtained the true secret, it only took him just over a month to successfully cultivate it. Thinking of this, Han Li couldn't help but daydream about the prospect of his own gold-devouring beetles, Shijin Chong, one day evolving into a peerless set of armor. Next, Han Li took out the jade slip from Exine Ruin and began to study the profound matron-nascent transformation-grade art. This cultivation art was even more profound. It allowed a cultivator to refine a completely independent second nascent soul, Yuaning. Once the incarnation, Huashan, is successfully cultivated, it is equivalent to possessing an extra life. This incarnation would have thoughts and emotions identical to the true body, be completely autonomous, and be 10,000 times more sophisticated than the Chu-Hun puppet from before. However, when he read the section on the art's limitations, his excited mood instantly plummeted to the depths of an abyss. The second nascent soul could not be cultivated from scratch. The only way was to seize the nascent soul of another cultivator, erase its spiritual sense, ensure, and then forcibly assimilate it. This process was exceptionally perilous, with an extremely low success rate, and one was very susceptible to a backlash. Furthermore, to create the incarnation, one would have to find another suitable body, ideally the physical body of a different nascent soul stage cultivator. As for this, Han Li knew his own limits. It was impossible for him. The most fatal part was that this incarnation ran the risk of demonization, Huaymo, developing its own sentience and turning against the original body. The cultivator would be forced to use the unity art, Ge Iju, periodically to reassimilate it, forcibly maintaining control. After reading everything, Han Li fell into deep thought. He took out the wood spirit Nascent and inspected it for a while, his resolve beginning to waver. Although this thing isn't a true Nascent soul, it's about 80 to 90% similar. Should I take the risk? After hesitating for a long time, concerned that assimilating this foreign Nascent soul might affect his own consciousness, Hanli decided to temporarily shelve the matter. The risks were, after all, too great. It was better to study the cultivation art thoroughly first before deciding. And so, he officially entered a long-term seclusion. Time flowed like water through the fingers, and a year passed in the blink of an eye. One day, Chung Tien-Kun and Lu Luo arrived at Han Li's cave dwelling together. While waiting for the restricted formations to open, Elder Chung continuously lamented the depletion of his vital energy, fearing he only had 60 to 70 years of his lifespan remaining. The old man also frankly admitted that he had sent disciples to investigate Han Li's background. The results showed that Han Li was indeed a disciple of Yellow Maple Valley, Hong Fong Kok, who had been treated as a sacrifice by his master, Old Freakling, who, and subsequently disappeared. After a period of absence, he suddenly reappeared with a cultivation base at the Lake Core Formation Jiedan stage, clearly having encountered a great fortuitous opportunity. Elder Lu at his side sneered, making a sarcastic comment. Ha! If that old freakling who knew that the waste disciple from all those years ago had now successfully formed a nascent soul Yuaning, he'd probably cough up blood and die from rage. That old man doesn't have much time left either. Elder Chung continued his analysis. I was originally worried that after I pass away, Martial Brother Lu alone would not be able to shoulder the Drifting Cloud sect. But now, with Martial Brother Han, everything is different. He seems to be someone who focuses solely on cultivating the Tao, indifferent to worldly affairs. With him around, I am much more at ease. Hearing this, Lu Luo expressed some worry. But he is still too young, having only just condensed his nascent soul. We have no idea what his divine abilities are like. I just fear he is an ascetic cultivator type who only knows how to blindly raise his cultivation realm, while his actual combat prowess might be inferior to even lower-level cultivators. Chung Tien-Kun smiled mysteriously and replied, I worried about this as well, but from what I've observed, he doesn't seem to be that type. That's why, for this trip to the trade fair, Jiaoyi Hui, I've decided to select a few experts from within the sect to train or test Martial Brother Han for a bit. Right at this moment, the cave dwelling's restrictions opened, and Han Li emerged from his seclusion. After a round of conversation, the scene transitions to Heavenly City, Tiancheng, the location where the Grand Heavenly South Trade Fair was being held. At this time, Han Li, Elder Lu, and Mu Peeling were flying on their magic artifacts, heading toward the Grand Assembly. Along the way, neither Han Li nor Elder Lu bothered to conceal their nascent soul stage spiritual pressure. The low-level cultivators along the path, who sensed it, were all terrified and hastily used their light escape techniques to flee. While everyone was chatting, Han Li's figure suddenly halted. His powerful spiritual sense had detected a group of cultivators flying quickly toward them, and the one in the lead was another nascent soul stage old monster. Hearing Han Li's warning, Elder Lu was inwardly startled. Martial Brother Han's spiritual sense was actually even keener than his. Just as expected, only a moment later, a procession appeared with extreme ostentation. Golden armored guards, a magnificent flying chariot, soaring immortal cranes, and female attendants following behind, a grandiose display exactly like a monarch on a royal tour. Mu Peeling, watching from the side, was dumbfounded. Only Han Li remained perfectly calm, thinking to himself, the cultivation world is truly full of flashy idiots. However, the very instant Elder Lu saw that flying chariot, his expression suddenly turned incredibly unsightly. Episode 167 stops right at this most tense moment. The cultivation world is truly full of unending storms. Han Li originally just wanted to lay low and find fortuitous opportunities, but trouble has come knocking on his door. Elder Lu's unsightly expression is a clear omen of an unavoidable tempest. Will Han Li continue to hide his cards, or will he be forced to make a move and shock the gathered heroes right at the assembly? In this battle of dragons and tigers, who will gain the upper hand? Does this newcomer ultimately bring good fortune or disaster? Please comment immediately with your predictions. Fellow Taoists, if you find the content engaging, don't spare a like and subscribe to the 1991 Review channel. The trade fair has only just begun. The real show is still ahead. Goodbye, and see you all next time.